All right, everybody, welcome Treehouse TTV. He's a creator of on Twitch, and he is known for teabagging and taunting as Sora in Super Smash Bros.
And that's it.
That's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great. For everyone just tuning in, Bambina was telling me, well, how does, I'm going to tell you what your introduction is. And I was like, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it for the first time
And that was
and get
it.
my reaction.
What
So
do you
that's
think?
great.
Is it accurate?
It's great. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, and it's like you don't have to play Smash to get it. Everyone knows what a
Right.
teabag is in a
Yeah,
game, so
yeah.
that's perfect. That's great.
Sick. How are you, Treehouse?
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm
Oh my
really excited to
gosh.
do this. This is so exciting for me because this is the 4th time we've planned it.
I was gonna
and
say
I
it's
can't
like
believe
8.
it's actually.
I swear to God, it's like 8.
It feels like 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like 8.
So
For
the
sure.
issue here is that Treehouse wakes up hella fucking early, and I'm 2 time zones away. And he's like, "Hey, you want to do this at 8 a.m. my time?" And I'm like, "6 a.m. my time? No." Like, I have to wake up at 5 then to get ready.
That's so funny. Yeah, don't dox yourself. But
Well,
yeah, no, I'm just
well,
kidding,
I won't
but
be here for
it doesn't
long,
matter.
so-
Now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, who wants to
exactly.
know? Yeah. So, but no, yeah, it does. It feels like 8, but I'm really glad we were able to do it this time. So
Yeah.
I was getting a little worried. It was 11:09.
Whatever.
And I was like, you know.
You know what happened is like 30 minutes before I had to get on here, I rolled out of bed and I was like, okay, it's time to do my makeup.
Such a mood when you sent me that Powerpuff Girls image.
Yeah,
of,
I'll
like,
put it in
Bubbles
the
getting
in
out
the
of bed all cranky.
in the episode. I was like, this is you today,
Yeah.
just to be sure. He's been waiting to be on the pod, but I'm excited we finally did it. Dude, how has life
Yeah.
been? You moved like a few months ago? Not even. It's been like
Yeah,
almost a whole
it's been
year.
A while. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been almost a year. It's great. Yeah, I've actually just kind of like I started a new job and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah. I remember
So I've
this.
been getting used to that. I've been kind of like going out and trying to find trying to go to locals just to kind of meet people in person and stuff like that too. So yeah, life's been great. I am obviously like, my personal life is fantastic. Trying to find a new job just like everyone else. Job market's ass backwards. But we're doing our best. We're doing our thing. I'm lucky I
Dang.
can do it and still stream on the side. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can't really complain. Just doing my thing.
Oh
I
my
guess.
gosh. Well, let's take it back to the beginning because I'm not even sure I know how your streaming journey started. I think I was there for like maybe a year or two in, but take me back to the
Yeah.
beginning. How did you start creating? Was
Yeah.
it always Twitch? Did you do YouTube ever?
Yeah. It's funny you talk about that because I remember like meeting you at KH20 back in 2022
I
in
know.
Texas.
It's
And
crazy.
you weren't really a creator.
No, I
yeah,
wasn't.
Yeah. It's such a cool, I don't want to say example, but it's such a cool explanation of a journey for someone like
No,
you.
really.
Kind of viewing all the streamers and like always being there, being in chat, being active, and then you're streaming and you're doing your own thing, and now you have this awesome podcast, and you're
I
like,
know.
oh man,
now this crazy is
I'm
on
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was
But,
weird being at Cage 20 and seeing all of you guys, and then eventually, kind of, yeah, exactly what you said.
I think it was kind of weird for everyone for sure.
Yeah.
Because that was like the first big
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts event.
I think
for
we were
people
all
met
just like in a room,
person.
like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, and it's so crazy because like even just less than a year from Cage 20, that's when I started. So I started very late February 2021.
Oh,
And
okay.
like everyone else, I was trying to do something because of COVID.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because even a couple months before February, I was visiting my family back in their state. And one of my best friends, Red Sloth, came to visit me because he was in town. And we were just hanging out. He was on his phone. I was playing Smash. And I was winning and doing this crazy stuff.
Classic.
And he looks at me, and he doesn't play Smash at all. He doesn't know like anything about the game. And something I love about Smash is like even if you don't know anything about it, you can look at it and be like, "Dang, that's crazy."
Yeah.
And I remember him telling me, "Have you ever thought about like streaming this?" And I was like, not really. Like I kind of have, but it would be fun. So it was one day where my uncle called me and he found this iMac at a yard sale, and it was from 2011. And we're in 2021, like 10 years later.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, Lewis, I got this
Oh
iMac, and
my
I was
God,
wondering,
not the voice.
would you want it? I just got it at a yard sale." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, Joey, that'd be awesome, cool. I appreciate it. You want me to pay you?" And he was like, "Nah, it's fine. I got it for like $100
Oh
bucks."
my
So like,
God.
he just gave it to me.
Yeah.
and I put it in my car, and then I drove it back to Florida because I was there for grad school at the time. And it's so funny because I was like, I have a computer now. How about I start streaming?
Mhm.
So literally, the capture card I got for my Switch was more expensive than the computer I had.
Right.
So it was just so funny. So it's cool you bring up, did you stream on YouTube? Did you stream on Twitch? I actually streamed on YouTube for like
Whoa.
3 days straight first.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So with an iMac, just with how old it was so complicated on getting everything together. Like, I'm not just wanting to stream, I'm learning what a capture card is, I'm learning
Yeah.
webcams, like keyboards, cables. Like, it's just so new to me, it's so niche to me that I feel like streaming wasn't like pushed upon as big as it is now, even
Oh
just
my
like
God.
less than 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember I started streaming. I got everything together, got a capture card, got a keyboard, got a monitor, and the computer was so shitty it would just crash down every time I got to 3 viewers, it would crash.
What?
It would
That
just,
doesn't make
and
any
I
sense.
listen. Yeah, I know. I don't know what it was, but listen, I was so happy when I had like 1 or 2 new viewers come in.
Right.
It made my day, and
Yeah.
I would talk to them and stuff like that. And it was all on YouTube. But yeah, I started February 2021. I had a shitty iMac, and I just had so much fun streaming. And then my friend was like, "Well, you should really stream on Twitch." So then
Yeah.
I just moved over to Twitch, and that's kind of where it started. I just
Oh my
kept
gosh.
streaming, and that was really it. And my friend Bane, who I've known for almost 5 years, he was one of those people who would come to the chat. And the funny thing about Smash is when you want to play with people, you can do random matchmaking, or you can they call it an arena. So you can make an arena, and you can put a name in the arena. So someone I met through Twitch, I literally found them before I started streaming, because when they made an arena for the name, they put their username /twitch.tv, and I was like, what's Twitch? Like, I don't really know it. So I like would type it in, and I would see them streaming. So that's what I would do, is that I would put my Twitch link
Yeah.
in the name of the Smash Bros arena,
Yeah.
and people would look it up if they lost. And that's why I would teabag all the time, because I would want to
Classic.
get their attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where it all comes from. It's like, even now, I put follower only arena,
Yeah.
and Smash players, they can't read.
Yeah.
So but they don't even know it, because they just found an arena. So once I beat them and once I teabag, they look up the name, they come in angry, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? If you want to follow, it's a follower only arena, and that's how best friends are made for me. So that's kind of really how I started to pick up
Oh my
finding
gosh.
people.
It's
and,
so
and
funny
just
to sit
streaming.
there too and see it happen. You're like, hi, well, why'd you leave the match? It's just like, oh, you're like, oh no.
It's funny, and like, so many people can't take it, and then so
Oh,
many
I
people
know.
can. And it's like, for me personally, I was talking to my friend about it yesterday, but when you meet someone and play Smash with them and see how their reactions are, that's how you really get to know them, in
Oh
my
my god.
opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people can handle the heat, and some people can't.
Really?
And yeah, some people dish. I mean, I'm sure people dish shit out and they can't handle it back. So it doesn't change with anything.
What are you saying about
It's
me?
Just
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
how'd you know? That's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. That's
Oh my
wild.
gosh.
No, but yeah, that's kind of how it started. And I raised. Well, I didn't raise money. I had a little bit of money saved up, and then I just had one of my friends tell me what parts to get for a PC,
Oh my
and once I
gosh,
got like
yeah.
a functioning computer that wouldn't crash every 20 minutes, I really started to just get into it, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh. I remember I brought this up on Landy's episode because we talked about you for a bit. But I remember whenever I first started watching you, it almost looked like you were in like the tiniest little fucking hallway of a room.
yeah.
And Big Pika
Yeah.
was back there and you had like a shelf and there was nothing else going on in that room.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
was that
no,
like
it
back
was-
whenever you had first started?
Yeah, that was when. Well, it was funny because like when I was visiting my family, that's when my
Mhm.
uncle gave me the computer, and then I drove back to Florida, and that's where I had. That was my second year in Florida, and I lived with 2 people who were also musicians,
Mm.
and yeah, I had my room upstairs, And it's so funny, I'll tell you later, but eventually I got moved downstairs because I was making so much noise upstairs. And my roommate was right across from
He's
me.
like, you shut
And,
the fuck up.
yeah, and he would stay up all night and play games, and I would wake up early and play.
Right.
So, because that's when no one else streams. So
Yeah.
that's why I had so many people come in.
Yeah,
Because
it's
they
true,
were working and
true,
they wanted
yeah.
to see, But yeah, that was my first little apartment, and in that room, I remember before I started streaming, I would just listen to a bunch of like background noise. So I would listen. This is no offense to anyone in particular, except it kind of is. But I would listen to some people in the back just as background noise about Kingdom Hearts videos or podcasts and things like that. And it was shuffled on random.
Yeah.
And I had my iPad playing in the corner. I was cleaning up. I was putting all my Pikachus in order. I have like
Of course.
this
so
air
many.
duster I'd use for my amiibo. So much shit. Yeah, so many Pikas and everything. And it was even before Big Pika, but
Yeah.
Landy's podcast came on, and I like, I didn't look at the screen or I didn't know what was going on, but I vaguely heard it, and his video had so much substance to it.
Yeah.
I stopped cleaning, and I binged it.
Yeah.
And then I binged his channel.
Oh.
And then, 3 hours later, I was just like, oh, this guy's awesome. Let me like subscribe and like and all that stuff too. And then it's so funny because one day, it was maybe like a week after I found his channel.
No way.
He was actually streaming a Smash Bros. Arena and playing games.
What?
And he never does that.
That is so random for him.
I know. He never does that. Never does that,
What
right?
the-
So, but he, I guess he would, because he used to host tournaments, I think, and
I
stuff
had
like
no
that back in the
idea.
day. But yeah, because I would ask him to help me commentate, and he helped me commentate for Cage 20 and stuff like that too. Like he was the guy I would go to, still is. But it was so funny. I binged his videos, and he was doing a Smash Arena, so shit, I stopped everything I was doing. I hopped on there. I was playing. I was teabagging, and guess what? He was cool. And he was really fucking cool. And that's when I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
And then that's what I'm talking about. It's like I can really see a good personality through Smash.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the guy I want to, just talk to or watch or support, stuff like that. So that's when that was before I started streaming. I just watched him and stuff. So that's what was really, really cool to me, is that was my first Landy interaction.
Yeah, no, Landy is very cool. My very first like real conversation with him was on the pod, and I laughed the entire time.
Dude, so real, so funny. I love that man. He's one of the reasons he's helped me through so much with my streaming. He's one of the reasons I stream. So
that's insane. See, this is why we need to talk about this stuff. We had no idea.
Yeah, no one really. Everyone just sees what's happening, but no one really knows how it happened. How it yapped. Yeah, how it yapped. So sorry. Let me help myself by getting some more coffee right here. Yeah, that's great.
I was like, I have to have coffee for this episode because A, it's early, but then also it's you, and like you're a super fan of coffee. Also, show the color of it while we're here. We're here.
This is black coffee, as you can see. But in here, it's a little different.
Right.
There's a little bit of half and half on the weekend.
A little?
Yeah.
This is black coffee. That's just for the chat. God
that looks like a 9.
I hate
or
you.
Or is 9 the one with a bunch of sugar and creamer? I forget.
It looks like that's what you have.
I did bring my favorite mug on the podcast. That says "Life is good," and I don't know if you can see at the very top, but it says "Do what." And then love what you do.
Oh, sick.
So
where'd you get that?
Yeah. I got this, I think, in South Carolina. I went with my mom one year, and they had a Life is Good store, and it's all right, but it was okay. It wasn't. Like,
I debated on moving there. Did I tell you that?
It's a cool place to live. I didn't
honestly.
Right. I didn't like visiting there, but I was like living there might be kind of cool. But I don't know. I kind of went there, and like I love Kingdom Hearts, but I'm not really a beach guy.
Yeah. What?
I like the city. I love the cities. I hate the beaches.
What? Is it the sand?
I don't hate the beaches. Yeah, and I lived in Florida for 3 years.
How are you gonna say that on a podcast called Washed? I can't believe.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So
I'm just kidding.
see, for you, washed is the beach, but for me, washed is like you're bad at the game now. So
No.
two different things.
That's what it's supposed to mean. Well, not bad at the game. It's supposed to be
you
like
only bring on the most washed people. That's crazy.
And that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
No, I
so
explicitly
real.
made it a point to be like, it doesn't mean anything about the people on the podcast. It's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be the
That's
washed
what she
one.
says, and then she starts yapping, and it's like, oh wow.
But it's Treehouse. I kind of have to, you know.
You have to. You got to. You
Exactly.
Got to. So yeah, that's how I met Landy, and a couple years later, I ended up going to his wedding. So.
Yeah, he talked about that. What the fuck?
Did he tell you about the Ember mug?
No, but I love the Ember mugs.
Dude, yeah. Okay, so quick story. This is one of my favorite memories with Landy, is that, so I was such a fan. I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast or something? Like, I've never done one before, but I got a lot to talk about, And he
so
was
you
like,
invited yourself?
Okay. I did. I invited myself, and I asked him, and I said, hey, I don't do any of this stuff, but like, I love your content, and I would love to talk. And he said yes. And he said yes.
Okay.
So, that was the first time I ever talked to him. Super cool, super down to earth. We talked a little bit before, a little bit after. And, I was drinking my coffee from one of the Ember mugs, and, the bottom has a light. So luckily I was holding it the way that showed the light towards the camera.
Yeah.
And he was like, what is that? And I said, oh, it's an Ember mug. It's like the best thing ever. It keeps your coffee hot. There's a little, a base that you charge it on.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, huh, that's really interesting. And he was like, my fiance's mom, I'm trying to find a gift for her. And I said, well, you know what, Landy? They make a regular mug, but they also make a travel mug.
Yeah, the travel one goes crazy.
The traveling one goes crazy. And I was like, I got one for my dad for Christmas. He uses it all the time, and he's the hardest gift giver. I think she'll love it. Anyone who likes coffee will love a good Ember mug. Mm-hmm. So he got that for her. And the next podcast we did, he was like, Tree, she loved the Ember mug. Like, thank you so much. So fast forward like 2.5 years, I'm at their wedding, and it was Sunday morning. They had a big like buffet style breakfast, and it was cute. Me, Guides and Lands, and Landy wasn't, like, everyone was down except for Landy and Charlotte. And I saw this woman with a Ember mug, like the travel mug, and I went, oh my gosh, that's her.
No way.
That's her. And I walk up to her and I say, that's a cool looking travel mug. And she goes, oh, thanks. It keeps your coffee hot. And I was like, oh, that's really awesome. And I just didn't want to say anything, like, not my weekend. But I just, something about it. I wanted to say it because I was so like giddy about it.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, Landy and Charlotte come down, and I'm pretty sure it was Charlotte's mom. It might, I don't know the exact,
right.
I can't remember everyone. It's full of Italians like me, but it was so funny because Landy comes in, and I was like, Landy, look, it's the mug. And then Landy goes, you didn't tell her? And I was like, no, I didn't tell her. And he was like, he goes over to her and says, this is the guy I was telling you about the Ember mug. And she goes, you're the guy? And I said, yeah, I'm the guy. And she was like, you changed my life. You know that? God. You really did. And I said, no, it's how I met him. One of the first times I met him.
Wow.
So it all just kind of came around, and it was just such a like cute, cool moment. Yeah, I that's one of my favorite memories with Landy. It's kind of a progression story. So it's like, I don't know. I love that. I think about that time to time. Yeah, it's really
Y'all are
cool,
so wholesome. I feel like when I think about you, I think about I kind of told this to Landy too. I feel like back then in 2022, 2023, the Kingdom Hearts creators that I watched were you, Landy, Andy, Lance, Guides, and probably some more that I'm missing. But like as far as the dudes, like it was all you guys. And it's funny because y'all are all so tight. But also y'all are all Italian, like, or not all of them, but you, Landy, and Andy.
Lance is, Andy.
Lance is Italian. But like all of y'all, and y'all are so funny, and y'all have big personalities, but are also so wholesome, and I love that. Except for you sometimes,
Except for me sometimes. Well, it's like, it's so funny because like even Cassidy says it. She's like, man, I love Treehouse, but holy shit, I love Lewis. And I was like, well, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Gross.
I know, gross. Yeah, I'll get it out now. I won't make it too,
No, you're fine. She
too
like
sweet and
talked
stuff.
about you a lot, so it's fine.
I don't know. I was like, who are you? Like, what are you talking about? No, she's the best.
My God.
But yeah, it was so funny because like when we were talking about coffee and the Ember mug, I remember looking around at the buffet and everyone looked so Italian. And I was like, Landy, I feel like I'm home. And he goes, look. And he goes, look, even the kids are drinking coffee. Like, that's how you know it's Italian. It was just like
it's so cute.
So funny. Yeah, it was so funny. But yeah, we have the traits, yes. So
the traits. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your gaming history. We talked a little bit about you and your streaming. How did you get into gaming? Like, walk me through. Were you always a Nintendo kid? Did you even think about playing any other consoles?
Yeah. You know, it's such a funny question because like this sounds so bad, but I always I gamed a ton as a kid, but part of me doesn't really exactly remember how it started.
Oh no, I get it.
So, you know what I mean? And I remember like talking to my mom about it a year ago, and she told me allegedly, you know, I gotta be careful, but
yeah.
she was like, well, you know, we tried the Pokemon stuff with your sister and it didn't work, but it really worked for you. So I'm trying to think
clearly.
about clearly, and it ain't going away at all. Right. So it's like, was it the cards? Was it the game? But I do remember Pokemon Yellow was like my first game growing up. So that was like really like my dad had a Game Boy from when he was in college.
Okay.
And he had this whole case that resembled like the shape of a Game Boy and it had paint on it and stuff like that. So he had like golf, he had football, like all the boomer Game Boy games now. So like it wasn't as intense, but like when he was younger, like Pong was such a big deal at the time. So he's not really like you could show the game of Pong to anyone any age and they would know what it is. That's the only gaming thing people would maybe know. Okay. But it's like I definitely remember playing the games when I was younger, and I was crazy about Pokemon, and I obviously still am. But that was like the first time, and I remember, you know, like even in Pokemon Yellow, you would walk around and Pikachu follows you, and I just loved like, not necessarily like the Pokemon Pikachu, but I loved that I was like bonding with a Pokemon like it was me and this little yellow creature walking around. I just thought he was so cute and it was friendly and I loved the music. So like, I don't know, something about that it really stayed with me. It was like the relationship between like you and your personal team versus just like the brand of something, because Pokemon was like, they had the Pokemon boom, but like back then it was still a little bit niche and stuff as well. So I gamed a ton because I always had portables. Like I had some home consoles back in the day, but like I think my first main console was like the Game Boy Advance. That was my huge thing, and I remember because you could play Game Boy games on the Advance. So I had the Game Boy Advance. One of my favorite consoles ever was the Game Boy Micro. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No, do you have it?
Yeah, I don't have it anymore, but it was literally almost 2 or 3 times larger than the actual game of a Game Boy Advance game. So like the console itself is that big. Little baby, you could put it in your pocket and play a game, and you could change like the little covers on the front so you can have it like be customizable. Yeah, so but I played that, and then like I remember I grew up with handhelds and the GameCube, and that was such a crazy thing for me because it's like, even though I joke about like, oh, the Wii is so superior, like, you know, GameCube was a failure, like it really wasn't. It's one of my favorite.
I had a GameCube. That was crazy.
Yeah, GameCube. Yeah. I mean, well, the cool thing was, it's like people don't really remember this, but there was an extension that you could put on the bottom of your GameCube, and you could put Game Boy Advance games in there.
Oh shit!
And it would show up on the TV. Yeah, so that was a huge deal. Not only could it project games like from the GameCube on the TV, but you could also play
they were doing
a different
crazy
Pokemon
shit back
game.
Then. What happened?
They were doing crazy stuff. Yeah, like what happened? Like the Game Boy Advance
were
had
so
a
creative.
camera.
Yeah.
They were so creative. Yeah, they had a sewing machine you could connect to your Game Boy, not Advance, but your regular Game Boy.
What
They had
the
a sewing
fuck?
machine. They had a sewing machine. They had a camera. They had all this crazy innovative
Why
stuff
would
back
you need
then.
a
Like
sewing
people,
machine attached?
I don't priorities, I guess. You know, it's like you could game and make and sew something out of it. You know, put your
I
time
guess
together.
so.
It's crazy, but like this is the little niche stuff that people
Yeah.
don't remember. And like not only could you project like a small Game Boy
Yeah.
screen onto the big screen,
Mm-hmm.
but you could get a Pokemon game like Coliseum,
Mm-hmm.
get your Game Boy game, put it under the GameCube,
Yeah.
and you could see your Game Boy team in 3D on Coliseum.
Oh, that's crazy.
And to me, that was just the biggest
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is the future. You know, like
No.
even when I was
Well,
a kid.
Yeah. The 2000s were crazy. I don't know, man.
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
all the
Yeah.
clear like controllers and remotes and telephones and stuff, like that was silly
Yeah.
shit, but like also then they were doing stuff like that and you're like, well,
Right.
what the fuck happened?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's little stuff like that that really got me into it because
Mhm.
it was like with Pokemon specifically, I loved playing all the different games because they don't do it anymore, but back then they would have different 2D designs in each
Mm.
game.
Interesting.
So like even for the same generation, so like if you were playing Pokemon Yellow and then Pokemon Red,
mm-hmm.
both Game Boy games, they would have different sprites. And I was
Oh.
like, "Oh man, this is so cool." And then the next gen they were all 2D, but they were differently like
Right.
they looked so different. So
Right.
like to me, I loved seeing like the same Pokemon from my other games and then
Mhm.
seeing a different style and then going from 2D to 3D was just
Yeah.
insane. But basically to answer your question that took 10 minutes.
No, you're good.
I was really a big handheld guy when I
Mm.
was a kid. And then when I was like, you know, maybe in later elementary school, I got the GameCube and then I got a PS2. And
Mhm.
that's where I really turned into a big gamer because like, yeah, I
Yeah.
started with Pokemon and I know I like make a bunch of Nintendo superior jokes here and
Yeah.
there, but like I love PS2 is
PS2 was
still goated.
amazing. I
mean,
have one in my
so
living room.
amazing.
I'm like, you
As
just
everyone
gotta.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to. And like that's something I think some people won't, I don't want to say appreciate, but some people won't live
Mhm.
is that going from the PS1 to the PS2 or the N64 to the GameCube
Mhm.
or going from like a DS to a 3DS,
Mhm.
there's never going to be a larger gap
Yeah.
between graphics ever again.
Yeah.
Ever.
No.
I mean, it's insane to think about.
now we have crazy expensive consoles that can do sick shit, but also like
That the games suck.
yeah.
The games suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the games fucking suck,
And
and
that's
you
why
can get them
everybody
anywhere
wants,
you want.
yeah, all the older games to get remade or come back or be compatible at
Right.
least.
Right, and it's like I'm not trying to show my age too much, but when people complain about
Show
graphics
it.
for Pokemon,
yeah.
yeah, I'll show it. I'll be like, why do you guys care about graphics? It's a Pokemon game. Like,
Yeah.
why are we so? When did we suddenly
Oh,
get
give a
obsessed
shit?
with
Yeah.
making video games? Yeah,
Yeah.
give a shit or care about video games slowly turning into movies. Like, why are we?
Oh,
trying
there.
to,
Yeah, that's
to make that
like
a
a
thing.
thing. I want to say over the past few years, but like also, especially I guess over the past couple days or the past weekend, Square was like, "Hey, by the way, we still have these like HD 2D games, which are with sprites, and they're still just as great, and they do have stories. But
Yeah.
people like
Right.
want." The hair of the character to have like all the follicles. Like, does it matter?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it is odd, but I think they're having really good success with HD 2D.
Yeah.
Which, I've always wanted for Pokemon, to be
Mhm.
honest.
Yeah.
And like, the reason Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 are probably my favorite games is because you can play it 15 years later
Mhm.
almost, and it feels like a modern 2D game.
Mhm.
It's fast paced. The 3D looks great. The sprites are beautiful. Like there's
Mhm.
certainly an art to 2D graphics.
Oh, yeah.
And gosh, what's it called? It was The Adventures of Elliot that Square's releasing.
I
Have you
no
heard of
idea.
that?
No.
Yeah. So they released a demo exclusively on the Switch too. But,
well, maybe that's
yeah,
why.
yeah, maybe
Right
that's
over
why.
my head.
But oh man, it's great. It's like even when you're walking, like it's the little things, right? Like
Yeah.
even when you walk around, the 2D character goes a full 360.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was
Yeah,
having
yeah.
so much fun with it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, why are we
Yeah.
so obsessed with putting like, millions of dollars into a game that's just gonna suck, and make something
Yeah.
small and charming and enjoyable, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards maybe not like the huge AAA games, but like indie games that just don't get a lot of love and
Yeah.
aren't like the ones that are getting shelled like so much money into, because they keep
Mm-hmm.
just like repurposing the same thing. I don't know how else to
They
get
do.
into that without like going into a specific game, but
No, you're right. You're right.
yeah, it just seems like they know which ones are like their cash cows and they're gonna keep throwing like money at
Yes.
them, and that's fine. But like also,
Right.
you should throw some other stuff in there while you can, because I
Yeah,
don't know.
right. And I still think even right now that the most important developers in the video game
Mhm.
industry are indie developers, because every
Mhm.
company at one point started out as an indie
Yep.
developer.
I mean,
And
look at that fucking Expedition 33 game. Everybody's going
Yeah.
nuts for it. Fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
so-
I've heard so many good
Yeah.
things about that.
I
So-
haven't
and
even.
look at
I haven't tried to play it yet. Have you?
what's it called? Stellar Blade.
Oh,
is
yeah.
another example
Yeah.
of like an indie company. Yeah,
Okay,
Stellar
well,
Booty, whatever
they
you want
knew
to call
that
it.
the
but-
Gooners were gonna go after that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, I haven't tried Expedition. Is it
Yeah,
33?
33. Yeah,
33? I've heard
Mhm.
so many good things about it.
I know.
Yeah, I've heard it's like some people say
Sometimes
it's
I can be
their
a
favorite game.
contrarian, and if something gets way too big, I'm like, nah, I'll wait.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to like rush into games just because
Mhm.
you hear good things.
Right.
I think one really cool thing about gaming is like, what's the appeal for you
Right,
personally,
yeah.
for you to try a game.
Yeah.
Like I've never played Dragon Quest games. but
Right.
I've
Mhm.
always kind of respected the appeal of it. So
Mhm.
I got the 2D games on like
Yeah.
the OG
Yeah.
2D games on Switch, and I was like, wow, this is like so ahead of its time. And I kind of went in like a rabbit hole with the composer and the
Oh.
whole series, and it's
Oh, well,
like
yeah.
it's like wow, this is cool.
Because you have the music background.
I got the music background, and
Yeah.
I've always loved the music of the series too.
Yeah.
So it's
Do you want to
Yeah,
talk about
so
that
I-
a little, or is that too personal?
no, we can talk about anything. That's totally fine. But since we're just talking about Dragon Quest real quick,
Mhm.
the old 2D games, they were originally on Nintendo consoles
Mhm.
exclusively. I don't know if people like really realize that, but of course, like Nintendo wanted Final Fantasy, the next entry, which was Final Fantasy VII, to be
Mm.
on a cartridge.
Yeah.
And then Sony was like, no, we need to do it. Square was like, no, we need to put it on a disc because it's going to be so crazy.
Mm.
Dude, Nintendo's fucking shooting themselves in the foot because it was the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
well-known Final
Yeah.
Fantasy video game, almost video game hands down
I know.
ever. But
Do
yeah,
you
no,
think that's deserved? Side note for 7.
for FF7? I do. I really do
Oh,
think
okay.
it's shown for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it should definitely be up there as one of the best video games of all time.
All right.
For sure. And like it's funny you asked that, because that game was kind of realization for me when even looking at Final Fantasy VII Remake or playing other games, was like, wow, sometimes when you make a masterpiece, not just for video games,
Mhm.
you can never try to make something like that again. Like sometimes it's just never gonna happen.
So what do you think about Remake and Rebirth?
I haven't played them.
Wait, no way. On
No,
purpose?
Yeah, I've just because I'm waiting for the Switch 2 to come out. Or the Switch 2 ports. I've looked
see.
up the endings and I followed all the arguments and everything. So yeah,
Why?
I like to
Why'd
look up
you do that?
because
What the fuck?
I have this really toxic trait of
Yes.
looking
Let's
up
just
endings
stop there.
for-
Period.
for movies and video games.
No.
And because
no.
I like to keep-
why?
yeah, well, I like to keep up with what's going on. I like to see what's trending. I want to be involved. I kind of want to like know what's happening. It gives me fun energy. It's just a cool thing.
No.
But But if it's something I really like and I know I'm going to play,
Yeah.
then I will not play it. Like for
But
Kingdom
you know
Hearts
you're
3,
gonna play it eventually.
I know I'm gonna play it eventually, but like there's still part 3, so I'll have time to
I
play
mean,
1
it
and
kind
2.
of has
I already
to
know what
end.
happens.
Well, whatever. That's a whole separate conversation.
That's a whole separate. Yeah, don't make
Literally,
people mad. Yeah, you're gonna get some people upset.
Oh, whatever.
But yeah, fuck them. Yeah, but no, yeah, I think like I did play the original FF7 on my Switch, which is really funny. Like before I started streaming, because I've always wanted to play it, because I always knew Cloud and Sephiroth from Smash. But
you mean not Kingdom Hearts?
I played it. You mean not Kingdom Hearts? Oh my god! Wow, that's
not
crazy.
Not from Kingdom Hearts.
Dude, I mean, it's I always thought Cloud and Sephiroth were really cool, but I never looked at them the same way I did with like Sora. But I played the original. Thank God I played the version, not the version, but I'm glad I played it on Switch, or it would have been the same on like Steam or anything, because you can actually make a setting where it shows arrows on where to go.
Yes,
in the
and
game.
I know what you're talking about because
that?
I played it on the Switch.
Yeah, it pissed me off because like it got to a point where I was like,
it's so hard to see what the fuck is going on without those. Yeah.
Right. Like, how can you tell if it's a picture or not?
it was so flat to me. I was like, "Are we serious? What is happening here?" But
dude, yeah, exactly. It was so annoying. I was like, "How do I get from point A to point
right?"
B?
So I saw this thing the other day, and this makes sense for what we're talking about. But back then on CRTs, they used to like use the way that the CRTs would display images for like depth.
Yeah.
And so now with like whenever they put these games on like these new like OLED screens or whatever, it doesn't display like images the same way, so it looks hella flat.
Yeah.
Whereas if you put it on a CRT, you get the depth, and you're like, oh, this is a hallway. This is
right.
Like,
yeah. No,
but
you're
it just
totally
doesn't,
right.
It doesn't display the same.
That's why I not hate, but when I first played the 1.5, 2.5 versions of Kingdom Hearts, or the HD versions and ports, or on my computer and stuff like that, the eyes pop out. Like everything about their face looks a little like weird. But the games were designed for CRTs, just like a lot of like games were, even 2D games back in the day, and it's like the characters just look better with with all the little distorted pixels. They just do. So like there's so much soul in it. So but yeah, I definitely feel you on that. It was really hard to play, but once I kind of got past, it was so bad. But back then I'm sure it was so ahead of its time too. Because when did it release? Like 95 or something? Or?
God, I don't know. It is definitely like 90s or something.
It's definitely.
It's older than you, I think. I'm kidding.
Not that old. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to get.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Canceled.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm not gonna do it.
If you don't want to get canceled,
well,
that's on
it's
you.
It's not about you caring. It's about the one person I care about caring. So I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, yeah, I think it's over 25 years now for FF7. I think it might be close to 30, but yeah, it's like that was the only thing where it was like, okay, well that didn't age well. Was people say, oh, some video games are timeless, and I'm like, not this fucking game, not this one, like not FF7.
Wait, which one? Oh, FF7? Really?
Yeah, well, just because of the map. That was the only complaint I had, where I was like, this aged poorly.
The map is so fucking bad. As a person, I'm
so
gonna
bad.
Reveal some stuff about myself. I do mapping as a job. That was horrifying.
Oh, wow.
I pulled that up and I was like, oh my God.
So you took that personally.
I did.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk shit about the Rebirth map too, because it's also really bad in this one specific area.
Wow.
But anyway.
Yeah, I heard Remake is a bit better than Rebirth.
Map-wise, yeah. I had a lot of bitching to do about the maps.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because I'm like, that's what I do.
Right. No, that's
I'm sure.
True.
Do you bitch about music, since we were talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, I do actually. I do bitch about music, but I don't bitch about FF7 music. I still think like the music has aged well. The story was phenomenal. Like back then with what they could work with on the PS1, like it was such a, and from what I understand, that was the first Final Fantasy game to like have 3D, I don't know the right word, like poly model.
Like the
So
background? I don't know.
or like the
I
the
don't know.
characters, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not too
Definitely
sure.
polygons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely them. But it's like that because I remember they showed a tech demo at this one summer event Square did, and that was
Mm.
just such a huge thing at the time to have like 3D moving models for a video
Yeah,
game.
I'm sure
I
it was
mean, it's
like
like
ahead of its time
yeah,
or something.
it was
Now we
so
look back and
yeah,
I'm
it
like,
was yeah, it was so ahead of its time, but yeah, it was just I had such a good experience with that game, and I'm like, oh my god, this is timeless. Like the designs are great, the music is great, the
mhm.
gameplay is amazing. Like it's such a packed game. Like I think it had 2 or 3 discs back
Oh
then
yeah, it
too.
has three.
So
It's a lot.
right, and that game kind of showed me that I'm not really a Final Fantasy fan. I'm just a Final Fantasy VII fan.
And why is that?
It's just something about I don't know. I have to really give
Unpack
Final
that.
Fantasy more of a chance. Yeah, I
Oh.
got to give myself more of a chance for the
Well,
other games, but you
weren't you
know,
playing 15 like not too long ago?
I was, yeah, because I got Final
Right.
Fantasy VIII on Switch a
Mhm.
couple years ago, and I tried playing it, and I couldn't get into it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't really get
Some
into it,
people
but
would
then I
riot, I
played.
think.
Oh well,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
You gotta love every game.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
right.
But I mean, I think I need to give it a better
Yeah.
chance. But I think if they do a remake of it, I'll definitely play it for
Yeah.
sure. Um,
That'd
but
be
yeah, I
interesting.
was playing. What is it? 14? Is that the one with
14
Noctis?
is the online one. Were
Oh,
you
it must be
MMOing?
15 then.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know Final Fantasy games, but I love Kingdom Hearts. So it's like
No,
such
yeah, I started
a
with
weird
Kingdom
thing.
Hearts, and then whenever I went over to Final Fantasy, I was like, oh shit, this is the same like wording. Like they're calling the items the same shit, or like it's like close enough.
Yeah,
And I was like,
right.
oh, that
And
means I know how to
yeah.
play it.
Yeah, well that's
Yeah,
such a cool thing
yeah,
too is like I don't know for me like all the magic names and references and stuff like the summons
yeah,
I first learned in Kingdom Hearts. I didn't play it
exactly.
in any other game,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just kind of like that and I think that's actually a pretty good strategic move from like a company like Square at the time to have
True. Yeah.
like put it in a fun little Disney game and not have, like a daddy Sephiroth, killing all these people and shit like that. And in a
Right.
game, Kingdom Hearts is appealing to everyone,
Mhm.
anybody, any age. And like you don't have that, oh, this looks scary. Like
Mhm.
once you play it, Kingdom Hearts is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Once
something
you
on
get
my
in the
mind.
weeds.
But once you get in the weeds, yeah. Like, I thought it was such a and I promise this will be the last thing I say and then we'll get into the music.
You're
But
fine.
I remember like I was in Target when I was a kid and I saw the cover of Kingdom Hearts 1 and I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful." Like I
It
grew up
is.
with all the Disney movies
Mhm.
and stuff like that too. Like even to this day, like the holographic cover
Mhm.
was just so soulful and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Don't you have it now?
And I do, yeah, I do. I have, yeah, I got that, and I love how
Mhm.
just magical it is. It's like
Mhm.
something about Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like I love KH2. It's a masterpiece, but
Mhm.
something about the magic of KH1 is there
Thank
forever.
you.
And
I'm
I
glad you said
wanted.
that.
Oh yeah, it's so real. And we'll dive into that in a bit. But
Mhm.
it's like I remember seeing the cover art, and I wanted the game so badly.
Mhm.
And I was 5 or 6 years old, and my birthday was coming up, so my mom didn't get it for me.
Mhm.
So I remember telling my friends in elementary school, like, "Oh my gosh, this game looks so cool! Like, look at the cover art. Sora looks so awesome!" Like, blah, 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 blah. Like I was just yapping about it non-fucking stop. And I had a friend named Seth, who was like the only one who would kind of listen to me about it. He was like, "Yeah, it does look really cool. That is really
Mhm.
awesome." And I had a pool party for my birthday,
Wow.
and I had a couple friends. Yeah, it was just like you could just go to the local pool, or it was more of like a
Yeah,
community
yeah.
um
Wow,
like
you're really taking me back here.
association.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, throwback, right?
Yeah.
So they had a pool and you could just walk in if you remember, and then like set up a table and have birthday.
Mhm.
My dad made me. I'll try to find a picture of it. My dad made me a Pokemon cake,
Oh.
and it was a Pokeball, and he got all my little Pokemon figures and he put it on the cake,
Cute.
and it was just it was so cute. And I remember we we're opening presents. And apparently I did this thing when I was a kid that whatever gift I got, I was like, whoa, this is just what I wanted. Thank you. Like, I don't think I wanted to make anyone feel bad.
Yeah.
So I was just like every gift, whether it was like, a video game or if it was just like literally a letter, I was like, whoa, this is just what I wanted, stuff like that.
A letter.
I remember I was opening up a gift and Seth goes, this one's from me, because he was at the pool party.
Oh, sick.
And it was Kingdom Hearts 1 sealed.
Oh my god.
Like, it was the game, and I was like, oh my god, you got me the game I kept talking about. You're so awesome. And like, now that I think about it, back then that was like, what, $100 now?
Right.
Because it released as like $50.
Yeah.
So like 20 years with inflation, that's about $100 that this kid's parents
literally
spent on his friend to me because I really wanted it.
I know.
And it was just
not to
so
mention the
cool.
bag and the paper.
The bag, the paper, yeah. And like that was the first time, like, when I got a gift at my birthday, I wasn't just like, this is just what I wanted. I was like, oh my gosh! Like, I was going crazy, and like you could tell it's really what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then, I opened up a couple more presents, and I opened up the next presents from my parents, and it was Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh.
And I was like, Mom, Dad, thank you guys.
Dang.
And Seth's parents were like, okay, well, you got the game, so we're gonna kind of take it back. So they took the present back because there was a lot of money back then,
Like,
so and I wasn't upset because I got what I wanted. So I was just like, dude, this is so. It was just such a memory I will never forget. But that was just such a. It's such a memory, like, from when I was a kid that I appreciated when I'm older now. But it's like this dude's parents spent like over $100 because his friend kept yapping about a game about friendship.
He was like, if I have to hear about this any longer, I'm kidding.
Low key, yeah. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out, and then I never shut the fuck up. But it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. It was just such a memory, like, I'll never forget. And it's like, dude, I wonder if I could like find this guy, because we didn't like get in an argument or leave or anything like that. We just grew up and went our different ways, and like it was to a point where you don't even think about it. You know, you just. You're so busy doing stuff. You're like, oh yeah, that guy. I wonder if he's doing all right. But
maybe one day he'll find you on Twitch.
Remember him. I hope not. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
No,
you like
no,
teabag him, and he's like, what the fuck?
What have I created? This monster. Yeah.
Literally.
But no, it was just such a cool. It was just such a cool memory.
Yeah.
For me when I was a kid, I'm like, man, that guy was such a good friend. You know?
No, really. At still like 5 or 6 years old, that's insane.
That's crazy, right? Like, especially now, like, what if, like, if we're talking inflation, imagine if I went to if I was a kid, I went to my parents and I'm like, hey, can you guys spend like $90 on this video game for my friend? And your parents are like, oh my God, his parents can get it for him. Like, what is he complaining? So it gives me a lot of like love thinking about that.
Yeah, no, that's
memory.
sweet. Oh my gosh. Well, we really went down that, didn't we?
It was a big rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's important, but it's stuff like I think about all the time. So I'm glad we're talking about it.
No, I love it.
It's important.
Yeah.
That's why I love doing a lot of the stuff I do, is because of memories like that. So
yeah, like, I guess since you have, I'm gonna go kind of out of order here, but.
Yeah,
since you have all this like Pokemon stuff and Kingdom Hearts has been so prevalent in your life, do you ever get like burnt out by either of those series?
It's funny you mention that, because it's like, I don't want to say burnt out, but like I love, like, I'm also a big like Ratchet and Clank fan.
I had
like
no idea.
love I love Ratchet and Clank. Like, I really played like, I got a PS2 when I was younger, and I didn't have like a ton of games for it, but the games I had, I played them a lot. So it's like I saw other games that like my friends would play when I went to their house, or like releases that kind of like intrigued me and stuff. So, but out of all the games that like I have played, it's like Kingdom Hearts and Pokemon are so special to me, where I do kind of want to play them like more so in private than talk about it or stream it, because it's such like a personal thing to me. So like and that's why I love streaming Smash, is because there's no big story, there's no big ending, there's no like crazy moment. I mean, there is, and it is personal. Like if I have a win or if I learn something new, if I get better, it is personal, but it's in a different way than playing a game like Kingdom Hearts 3 by yourself, or like, oh my gosh, a new Pokemon game. This is awesome. Like, let's see what they're cooking. So some of them I don't want to say burnt out, but I can see the next level of like, oh, well, if I stream this, I might get a little weird about it. Like, I don't think I really want to share this game. Like when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, I don't think I want to stream it at all. I think I just want to play it by myself. And like even recording, I remember like before I was a streamer, I watched the Gamers Joint like upload videos of him playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and he was like, yeah, like it was one little comment that I always remembered, and he was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to like record myself, but this is my job. And then I was like, I know that feeling. Like even like a couple years after streaming, it's like, I don't think I want to play this game on stream. I just kind of want to do it by myself. Like I played Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was fantastic.
Did you like it? Yeah.
I loved it. And
it looks
was
really
just
good.
such an enjoyable game. Oh, it was amazing. Like I almost like teared up playing it, and it was just such a fun game.
So lighthearted.
Where I was like, it's lighthearted, but like there's so much soul in it. I really appreciated everything they put into it, but I was happy I didn't stream it because I think I would not have enjoyed it as much because like you have to remember, like when I'm playing games, like I want to go to every corner, I want to open every chest, I want to look around, I want to talk to every NPC, like I want to do all of that stuff, and I feel like I can't really do that as much as I want to on stream because if I did, I feel like there's just pressure for me to like, all right, hurry up, like let's do it. Yeah, keep going, keep talking, keep making content. And I'm not a content, like, this sounds so dumb, but I'm not like really a content person. I love playing games, but I'm really thankful that streaming Smash is a very rare instance of, well, if I play it with people and I do stream it, it makes it not more of a fun time, but it brings a different thrill that I feel like isn't really offered in other video games. Like if I tell Sid all the time, it's like, I could never stream a one player game all the time. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I couldn't personally do it because when it's one player, I'm focused. Like I want to learn the story. I want to play the game. I don't want people really like watching me a whole lot about it. So yeah, I don't get burnt out because I haven't fallen into the steps of like, let me stream this even though I don't want to.
Yeah.
And like, if that makes sense.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I'm a person who also feels that way. Mostly because I feel like specifically, and I'm sure this happens with other games too, but specifically with Kingdom Hearts, it just feels like anytime that I would try to play that, all the extra voices just got too loud. Like, this character's better. No, this one's better. Oh, they should be together. Oh, they should be together. This is the best world. This is the best game. And it's just like you can't even play the game without any of those questions coming up. Like, you can't even just enjoy it together. It's like this constant argument, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to do this on my own because y'all have way too many fucking opinions.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too.
And
like,
that's how I feel. I'm not putting those words into your mouth, but that's how I feel about it, yeah.
No, totally, and I definitely resonate with that because it's something I feel like is kind of not talked about as much, and like there's nothing wrong with making content, having a good time, and building a community. And it's like I've met so many like amazing people. Like I literally met the love of my life, like all this stuff. But it's like you can't. To me, it's so funny because like you're blurred, but I saw the
yeah.
But it's everything starts, like, to me, it starts with the game and with the personal experience. And it's like that's why I love collecting sealed games, because it's like that's where everything started. Like the Pokemon cards, the Pokemon soon to be theme park, like the Pokemon costumes, the Pokemon merch. To me, it started with the game.
Theme park?
Like they're working on a theme park for Universal. Yeah,
what the
Pokemon
fuck?
theme park.
In California?
Isn't that great?
Or
I think in Florida.
Dang.
I think in Florida at Universal.
You're gonna be there day one.
Oh, day fucking one! I'm gonna be there. I think next year I'm going to Chicago with Sid because they're bringing a Pokemon like fossil museum to Chicago,
What?
and it's going to be fossils of Pokemon. Yeah. So
Are
it's
they
like,
made up?
but,
Like,
oh yeah, they're
I'm
made
like,
up. Yeah, for sure.
what?
They're not
Yeah.
real, Bambino. They're not fucking real. Just kidding.
When dinosaurs
I mean,
walked the earth,
maybe.
so did Pokemon. Okay.
True. Yeah, exactly.
See?
No, I'm just joking. But it's like, I don't know. Everything starts with the game. Like when I think about how big Pokemon got, it's not because of the cards, it's not because of the merch, it's because
True.
of like Pokemon Yellow or like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Green. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
there's something about that personable experience that I have to make sure I don't lose, because that's when I stop being a gamer. And that's when I stop doing what I love, and I don't want to do that. So I
Interesting.
try to be real careful with it, because if I ever get really tired, which I have in the past, like
Yeah.
I've taken breaks from streaming, because it's like I don't want to worry about content. I want a game. You know, I don't want to go on Twitter
Mm-hmm.
and see a fight. I don't want to go here and look at a YouTube video. I
Yeah.
just want to play. I just want to come home and play some games. You
Right.
know, and so like I have gotten like burnt out with streaming before, but I
Yeah.
haven't been like, oh, I can't ever look at Kingdom Hearts. I can't ever look at Pokemon. Like for some weird reason, I kind of feel like Pokemon is so big now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it's great, but
Mm-hmm.
I just want to like, I want to play the old games, or I want to like, you know, collect there and do a couple different things with it that doesn't involve like content. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I'm glad you say
I'm
that
a
though, because
gamer first.
yeah, because some people will take like I guess it'll happen with any like hobby, right? Somebody will, I
Mm,
don't know, learn how to sew or crochet or buy a Cricut and make physical things, but then try to monetize it. And I think like same thing with this gaming stuff. It's like, well, if you play games and you care enough and want to talk about it enough, like you should put it on Twitch and kind of monetize it. And you know, cross your fingers, I guess, that you're gonna become a content creator if that's what you want. But
mm,
and I don't know if this was becoming a content creator per se was ever part of like one of your goals, but
mm.
um I feel like people who stream or create out of just the sheer love of doing it, um maybe there's like inconsistencies there, but there's also heart, you know what I mean?
There is,
And I feel
yeah.
like whenever you're doing it for a job or like to become a job, I feel like you lose a lot of that. Like, what do you think?
You do. You're
What are your
right.
thought? What is your thought on that?
Yeah, I think kind of with anything, if you do it for the money, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Like if you do it for like recognition or money or views, you know, like everyone wants like people to watch them, but
Mhm.
it's like, you know, I there's a reason I play an almost 7-year-old game all day all the
Right.
time. It's because I love it,
Mhm.
you know? And like I love other video games, but I feel like meeting people and playing with people and getting new experiences with Twitch has been like such a fun thing for me. And yeah,
Mhm.
there was a time where I did want to be like a content creator,
Yeah.
and you know, that was really fun, but also, you know, it was kind of a different time because I started it as a hobby for fun, and then it kind of like it wasn't really by choice, but it kind of turned into something bigger where
Yeah.
you know, I'm not afraid to say it, but it was maybe 2 or 3 months where I was streaming on a regular basis,
Mhm.
and you know, we were all locked down during COVID. Well, not really Florida, but my roommates were kind of like,
I know what
you
you
know,
mean.
they, yeah. So like, you know, some people would still do their thing, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like, I remember I was doing something I love, and I got
Mhm.
paid for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I kind of, you know, this is kind of cool. This is awesome. And I remember for a couple months, I made around like 15 to $2,000, $1,500 to $2,000 a
What?
month.
On Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch. Yeah,
What
I
the
remember
fuck?
I was, yeah, I was making like solid money from it for a
Mhm.
little bit, and I was like, oh man, I want to keep going and keep going. And then that's when I kind of started, you know, I had to move back, and then I moved in with
Mm.
my friend because Retzloff, because you know, I wanted to leave the state. I chose a different career path. So
Yeah.
it was like I had streaming that was maybe an option for what I wanted to do. And then I was doing something for almost 20 years, music, where
Mhm.
I gave it up. And I was kind of really sitting down deciding like video games are always kind of my escape thing. Do I want to make it the bread and butter thing too?
Yeah.
And that's when I was seriously considering like what to do, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. And I think for some people it's not a quick yes or no. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you have to take time to do it, because like anything, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, you're
Yeah.
gonna have what you're thinking about for the future. And that's kind of when I realized, like, okay, let me just like step back from streaming for a little bit, because like what I would do is I would stream for like 6 or 7 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, man, I want to have some fun. Let me game, and there was something kind of rubbing me the wrong way
Yeah.
of like, it's like, dude, I'm tired. I want to go outside.
Yeah.
Like my whole escape route was gaming, and
Mm-hmm.
like coming back to it is just it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like, and I was also kind of feeling a void of like, well, I was doing music for such a long time. What am I going to do for my new career?
Yeah.
So I think everyone in their life has to get to a point of like, what do I really love? And like, what makes me love it?
Yeah.
Is it because of like the substance of what it is, or is it because my connection with it that gives me like a good release from the world?
Right.
And do I really want to put that on the line and have it ruined forever because of something else?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it's like I did get on that bandwagon. But when you kind of get older, for me, like I was just like, well, I love gaming, but like it's not like parts of Smash Bros are my life. Like I love it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I grew up. Not only do I like know a lot about it, but like I've lived through it, just like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these other
Yeah.
franchises. And I do like it's. I don't want to say that's who I am, but that's a big part of me.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're doing it for fun and there's enjoyment in it and it makes you happy, then you should keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to also manage it and do it responsibly too, because if it gets out of hand like anything, it's not going to be good.
Right.
So yeah, I think if you're streaming and you're not having a fun time,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not saying you should quit. I'm not saying you should stop. I'm just thinking that you should think about like what really makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And not only like I'm not this sounds crazy. I'm not really a big happy person, like in a sense of like that's my main goal.
Yeah.
I'm more about meaning over being happy.
Yeah.
And I think once you find your meaning in life, if you go through the whole logotherapy rabbit hole
Mm-hmm.
like I have, then you will be fine.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you've like heard of logotherapy.
No,
or
I
like,
haven't.
heard of. Yeah, so it was made by this guy named Viktor Frankl,
Okay.
who basically wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, and it was all about his
Okay. I think you're going
life.
where I'm going with this mentally.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
basically wrote a book and created logotherapy from his time that he survived from like World War II
Oh my God.
in concentration camps.
Okay.
Like it gets really, really deep.
Yeah.
But he's basically saying like, if you have meaning in your life, you're good. Don't follow happiness, don't follow a goal. But if you have your meaning and your purpose for the world,
Yeah.
then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I went down a rabbit hole when I read that book. And it's basically, if you have meaning, like just for, a partner or your family or something that you enjoy,
Mhm.
or even for one person, that's your thing.
Yeah.
And that should make you fulfilled, because like every person has their meaning
Yeah.
here. And I think meaning is way more important than just being happy or
Mhm.
feeling good.
Yeah.
So like there was a time where I was like, well, is streaming my thing? Is it bringing me good meaning? And it still does, because I still talk to so many amazing people.
Mhm.
Like I love doing it for fun.
Yeah.
What's my true meaning? I don't know, but it's like it's still such a big part of me, where it feels like, if I can make some people feel better or have a good time and like meet a couple friends, like that's my meaning. And that's like, it makes me feel like my time that I'm putting into it is worthful and has purpose. So yeah, I think if you're on Twitch just to get views and make money and be famous, like if you're gonna do that, good luck. But I think if you stream what you love and do what you love, it's gonna work out. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it shows in your
It
streaming.
literally
It
shows.
shows. It shows. Yeah. So like I love Smash Bros. I love that Sora's in the game. Like it's such a big part of what I've always wanted. And it's like
Yeah.
that's why I can get up and stream and have fun and have a good time. And like I still love it.
Yeah.
So there are times I need breaks, but I'm just it gives me that like, oh my gosh, like this is such a crazy thing to imagine. One of my favorite games growing up is in a game that's released like almost 25 years later, and it's represented, and it's basically like all of what I love into one game, and I get to play it with other people. Like there's meaning in the interactions I have with random people, and then I make friends versus like a solo one-player video game.
Right.
Like it goes kind of down a deep rabbit hole. Like when I turn on and go live, sometimes I think about that, and I'm not just like, oh, I'm playing a game. Like I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be cool. Like,
it's really
what's
connecting
today gonna
with
bring?
people too.
It is. Yeah.
It's layered. It's like
layered.
a thing you love, sharing it with people, and then meeting new people and sharing your love for it on the platform.
Yeah.
So I have a few things that, as you were talking, I kind of want to drill down into.
Yeah.
So first thing is the thing about happiness or chasing happiness. Totally agree with you there. I think one of the things my dad told me when I was little is he was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I think what I said was, I just want to be happy. And not to say that I wasn't, but like, I just want to be happy with whatever happens, you know? And his thing was, like, you can't, like, your goal can't be to be happy, because that goalpost is always going to be moving. You know what I mean? And you can't really have happy without having, like, the opposite of that, like the contrast of sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you have to find, like, worth and value in something else, rather than just a feeling, because feelings are also fleeting. But also, another thing is, so I'm going to go into like a little bit of a tangent here, but only because I think that you and I have similarities or parallels. Whenever I went to yoga teacher training, which was like last year, early in the year, it was 3 months long, and I was doing it like every fucking day for hours and hours on end. So I was reaching the point of burnout, but I loved it so much that I was like, I'll do this. If you're going to go spend thousands of dollars to go to training, like, you have to love it a little bit. And so out of 12 weeks of the actual training, at week like 9, they told us like how much it would realistically pay. And my whole thing was, I wanted to do this as a job. I wanted to get out of working. I wanted to get out of like being in an office and blah, blah, blah. So they spared nobody that day and ripped that bandage straight off. They were like, this is not a job that you can have where you would make money and live off of. Maybe you can have like this be supplemental, but like
sounds like music.
So exactly where I'm going with this.
Right.
And it kind of shattered me, because that was like this huge thing in my mind that I was like, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be a thing I love, it's gonna change my life, and I'll get out of XYZ, you know, working for the man or whatever. And it fucked with me really hard, because I was like, well, shit, now my plan is foiled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, it was kind of doing that thing where it was making money off of this thing that I loved, but for what? You know what I mean? So it really like put into perspective, like, well, what does it mean something? Do I find identity in my job that I do, or do I find identity having hobbies? And also, if I have these hobbies and they're just hobbies, does that mean anything about me? You know what I mean?
Homie,
so I don't know.
Smart.
I don't know if that's how you felt about music, and at least for me, like, having to put all this stuff on the table, like, metaphorically, and be like, I guess yoga's not gonna be what I thought it was gonna be. Like, did you have a moment like that with music?
Yeah, that's really smart you realized that. But kind of from what you were saying, it's like, is this thing that I love my personality? Yeah. You know? And that's when I've really learned that, because you can feel a type of way about what you enjoy, but if anything I've learned in life is that the mind has a way of replacing a problem with another. Yeah. And it's always going to be
that's
like
what
that.
Gaming
like,
is.
Man.
It's humans creating problems other humans can solve. And that's fucking crazy.
And it is. You're so right. That's such a good connection. Yeah. And it's like, it's like there are some problems that we enjoy solving more than others,
Yeah.
and some that we never will. But
Right.
it's like, yeah, you know, if you have a job or you're doing something you love, you're like, oh man, the pay's not good, and then you do a job where the pay's really good and the job sucks, you're like, oh man, I want to go back.
Mm.
It's like, oh man, I hate not having a job. Then you get a job, you're like, oh, I hate having, you know, it's
Yeah.
almost with anything,
Yeah.
you know. Like for me, it's like, you know, I paid off like all my credit cards, and then I was like, oh, I feel great, and then 2 weeks it was like, well, now I want to do something else. Like, what do I want to buy
Exactly.
something, you know? And it's
You have
like,
this
I don't
one
want to use
big
my card.
thing, yeah, and then you do
Yeah.
it. Or sometimes people get so paralyzed sometimes with like you have such a big goal and you're right on the verge of it and you can do it, and some people pull back for some reason, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
then if I do this thing, now what is my next goal? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And
Isn't
that
that
was,
crazy?
and it is really weird, and that's what the mind does too.
Mhm.
It's like, I think something that would probably relate to people listening is like, a lot of Twitch affiliates want to get partner, and then once you get
Yes.
partner, you're like, what do I do now?
Now what?
You know, and that's kind of like, you know, with a lot of things, but like with me, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, I need to like get my master's degree, and then you get it, and you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
You know, but that was a big thing with music, where it was a big part of me back then.
Mm-hmm.
But the great thing about life and being who you are and not making about your personality
Yeah.
from something is that everything you've learned carries with you over. So like everything I've learned with music, all my traits of like, you know, being on time, analyzing things, like hearing compositions, like all of that is a part of me, and I will have it forever until I get dementia or something. But it's like, you know, I will always like have that with me, and like everything I've learned through streaming carries with me as well. Like there are a lot of things through streaming where it makes me feel really confident too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there are challenges where I don't think I can beat someone and I beat them, or it's something I am trying to like learn where I really get it. And it's like, that's kind of what I've been learning after I dropped music, is like, well, anything I learn, anything I do in my life is always going to be with me. And I'm not making it like a sole personality thing, but it's like you just get lessons from a lot. Like I used to skateboard all the time when I was a kid, and
no idea.
which is also really crazy. And like the thing about skateboarding is like when you really want to learn a trick, you have to fall and it hurts, but you get back up and you do it and you keep trying and you get it, and once you get it, you do it again. About repetition, persistence, consistency. And it's like that kind of really transferred over with me when I was in music and with gaming. It's like we all have a starting point, we all progress, we all learn, we all have our difficulties, and it's just something about like the human mind where you, if you feel down about it or if you feel burnt out, it's like you have to take everything you've learned with you, because if you don't, then you're not going to be learning anything. So yeah, I felt that way with music, but it was also like, you know, I remember
It's not like a
sold
loss.
one of my yeah, it's you know, you lose something but you gain something, right? Like the whole Nomura thing is what people are talking. Like I remember I was done for like 2 years. Like after 2 years after I made the decision of not to do music, I picked up my instrument and I played it. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel anything anymore. Time to move on. Like there has to be a point in your life where you have to move on. And if you don't, then you're going to be miserable. So like that was a chapter in my life, and parts of it will be with me, but like times change and you got to change with it. And if you don't, then you're going to be struggling.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in like a mean way.
Yeah.
But like that's how life goes.
I mean, yeah.
You know,
one
like,
thing about life, change is forever. It's not leaving. Like.
Yeah, change is forever. I mean, you can look at the past a little bit, but you can't try to relive it.
Yeah.
You can't stay there. And like I still love music. And like a big part of me when I was growing up is like one of the head composers for composer for Pokemon was Junichi Masuda. And I didn't learn this until I was older, but like he's a trombonist. And he's not really like active, but a lot of the lessons he learned from famous composers, like his favorite composer is Igor Stravinsky. So a lot of the dissonance and chromaticism that Pokemon uses in their music is like from Stravinsky. And it's funny because like Sid was showing me this video of not modern, but like video game songs that take from classical components.
Wow.
And I was saying, yeah, and I was saying like, listen, babe, like good musicians create, great musicians steal. And like that's what they do. That's what a lot of
Well,
jazz
yeah,
artists do.
yeah.
They
That's
steal.
the whole, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
much
so
about
it's like,
music. I was about to bring up La La Land, but same shit.
oh God, don't tear my heart out with La La Land. Don't
Do
do
you
it.
not
Don't
like
do
it?
it. No, I love it. That's why I hate it.
I
because
have
it's
it
so
like on my shelf up here. Not that my whole
such a
camera's
good
blurred,
movie.
but it's so great.
Such a good movie. You know what's funny? I actually saw that 3 weeks before it premiered in all movie theaters because I was in London.
What the?
And they were showing it early.
I love
I remember
that movie.
I saw it.
It's
Dude,
so good.
so good.
Yeah, but
Such
yeah,
good
he talks
music,
about
such
like
good acting.
they just riff off of each other. So
Yeah, what's the guy's real name? Sebastian's real name in real
Ryan
life?
Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I'm not cultured in movies.
I'm
but
not
one
either.
thing I know, if you look at the cover of that, his hands like doing that.
Yeah.
He was like, that's my biggest regret of the movie is my hand doing this. He was like, it bothers me so much every time I look at it, and he wants to low-key do a remake of that movie.
No way. Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, he said he would redo it just because his hand's doing that when he dances. He wants it to be up because it's fierce. It's like everything is positive.
Yeah.
It's like, so.
Wow. I can't believe he learned piano for that movie.
Insane.
Isn't that crazy? And he was fucking going at it. Like
he was, man. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Talk about yeah.
Go ahead. Talk about what?
I think it's so crazy. Like to be that dedicated to a role.
Yeah. Well, I guess when it is your whole job, you're like, I guess I gotta learn this. I mean, he didn't have to, I don't think. But
yeah, but oh man.
I'm glad you say that about music though, because after 3 solid months of I'm gonna say this, it's a joke, but like eating, pissing, shitting yoga for like 3 months, like I was like, I could do literally anything else for like the longest time, and I actually still haven't really like gone to a yoga class after, and that was more than a year ago.
Yeah.
Because like, and the thing is, like, I had to recently teach a couple classes, and you were there, but I was like, man, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to like bring this back out since it's been a year and a half. And even doing that, putting the stuff together, I was like, this is literally part of me. Like, I can't unlearn all the shit that I've learned. And it was in that moment where I was like, I know this like the back of my hand, and nobody's gonna take that away from me. So it's not like, I mean,
exactly,
it's not my job, but who do I need to prove it to by having it be my job? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
I do. And that's where, like, even for me, I was really careful with it because it's like, I love streaming and playing games, and like, I've always loved it and it's always been with me. But like, I definitely got burnt out from music. And even now, sometimes I can't listen to music that much. I know that sounds really like crazy to think about, but I know like people love music and they listen to a bunch of albums. But like for me, when I hear something, I almost like analyze it.
Yeah,
because
that's me when I go to yoga classes. People will be like, "Oh, let's go to yoga together. I know you like it," and I'm like, "Okay." They'll take me to some public free thing, and I'm like, "Don't get me wrong, it's fine." And they were like, "Well, what'd you think?"
You're doing it wrong. It shouldn't be like this.
They were like, "Well,
why
what'd
are we
you
doing
think?"
it?
And I'm like, "It was all right." And I'm like, "I probably would have done, yeah, but
yeah." And that's like how I feel with music right now too. It's like I enjoy a lot of video game music, but I'd be lying if I was saying I'm not looking into it detailed.
Yeah.
Like I listen to, like, I hear like the bass of the song, I hear like progressions, I hear like key changes, like modulations. Like I feel like I can't be a music fan as much. Like I am, I love music, but I can't just casually
it's like
listen.
You gotta dissect it, or at least like that's how your brain is already looking at it. You're just like, here we go.
Exactly. Because like when I was in grad school, I wasn't just practicing like 5 hours a day. I was playing for like 7 hours a day.
Ouch.
All the time. So like I was playing, I don't know if I told you, but I played clarinet. So I would
I didn't know that.
play in orchestras and stuff. Yeah. So like a lot of the clarinet stuff is in the higher register, but I played something called the bass clarinet, which is like a very lower ranged instrument, and it would play a lot of it would be the supporting bass for a lot of songs. So like naturally, when I played bass clarinet so much, like I would follow the progressions of like the lower chords while like the melody of the upper clarinet would be
You're
playing
like
the
filling
theme.
the background, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like not only do I hear one part of the melody in a piece, I also really listen to the bass.
Yeah.
And like I hear that a lot, and like sometimes I'll kind of not dissect, but I'll talk about like what makes a Pokemon song, and that's really cool. But I don't want to get into it too much either, because it gets a little, and that's why I take breaks with streaming. That's why I don't make it my end all be all, because that's kind of like one of the very few things I really really love, and I don't want to get rid of it like I did with music.
Right.
So
with streaming,
also like
go ahead.
no, what were you gonna say? What's up?
I was gonna say, do you feel like you had the same throwing everything on the table with streaming the same way you did with music and the same way I did with like yoga? Do you feel like you had that moment with content creating?
I did. I do. Yeah, I definitely had that, and I really gave up a lot for it too.
Yeah.
And to me, it wasn't worth everything I was putting into it as well. Like there was a time where I had great momentum and I was going through and I was like being quote unquote successful, but it didn't there are too many other things that came with it where it made something that was really at first super personal to where everyone's watching me, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, being in the spotlight, like don't fuck up type of thing. And I didn't like those being so closely related.
Yeah.
You know, and even now, like I love streaming, but like at first streaming was my little like niche hobby for fun. And like it still is, but also like I'm a person who needs like, it's never personal, but it's like I always need like alone time.
Oh yeah.
Like I love just like
Same.
getting a coffee, walking around. Yeah, I need my me time. And like collecting sealed video games has been like a really niche thing that's affordable but also sparks my passion, and it's really personal.
Yeah.
So where like that's where it gives me some solo energy for a hobby that's related to what I love, but it's not everything out there in the open. You know?
Yeah.
And I can make it that way if I share it, but some things I don't share and some things I do, so it's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, how do you find a balance? Sorry.
No, go for it.
How do you find the balance of what to share between your online life and your offline life? And how do you even
having a job? No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Well, because like a lot of people get really good job, Treehouse.
Good job, Tree. You made me laugh.
No. Yeah, you're fine. I feel like we got really in it. But yeah,
I love it.
How do you like even figure out like where the line is for online and offline? And this is interesting because you found your current partner through the online world. So like, how the fuck do you balance that? And then also, how do you figure out what to post and what not to post? And like, was that easy to find?
Yeah, because you know, a lot of people say like, I just do what I want. Like, I do what I want. You know, if I feel it, I do it. I feel it, I do it. And for me, it's like, yeah, me. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, it's like,
I think it's more just like the thought that they're like, it's not tough for me. Everything comes easy, and I don't have to think about it. And it's like, okay, like, shut up.
Yeah. That's a great question, because like there are a lot of times where like I'll go through a week and I won't stream and I'm miserable because of it, because I miss having fun. Like I love streaming. Like don't get me wrong. Like I love playing Smash. I love streaming with people. And if I don't do it, I get not grumpy, but I get a little prickly.
Yeah.
Because it's my little like, you know, I'm at work, I'm trying to do my thing, and I can't curse or be honest. So I'm just like, where can I do that? I can do it, you know, with Sid, and I can do it on stream, and I can do it with my friends. And I think part of the whole like I hate when people are like life is a balancing act, and it's like it is, but like it's not as easy as you say it, because
Yeah.
sometimes there's going to be weeks where you don't
Yeah.
have time to
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
You just don't. And I think what I've tried to do is like Smash is a good example of like where I want to stream it, but I also want to play it off stream.
Mhm.
So like I ended up going to it wasn't like a local tournament,
Mhm.
because it's so funny, like when I was trying to meet new people here, it was the one time where they didn't have a tournament, but they had just like a hangout, and they call it crew battle.
Okay.
So basically they have 5 players on each team, and what ends up happening is that like from those 5 people on each team, they get one person to play against each other, right? So like if one person beats the other person, right, and the winner has 2 stocks, the next person in that group of 5 has 3, but the previous person on the other team who won they start the next game with 2 stocks. So it's like a disadvantage advantage type
Right.
thing with a group of people, and once you eventually run out, then you have a winner. And that's what I went to when I visited here, and I was like, this is such a great first thing for me because it's new people. It's like not on stream. I get to know people, like who they are, and just have fun. And I think that's something that's important to me. It's like I hate to play it by feel because I have to think about what's right. But also sometimes when you don't feel like streaming and you're like, maybe I should stream, I'm not in a good mood, they end up being the best stream, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so sometimes like when you don't want to do something and you do it, ends up being the most
Mhm.
fun. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to get in the car and drive to the local, but then it ends up
Yeah.
being one of the best times. So
Yeah.
like I try to give myself like a little bit of discipline of being like, you don't want to do this, but maybe it'll help your mood right now. And I think that at the start of the week, it's like, well, what am I going to do this week? Am I going to go to the local? Am I going to do that? When was the last time I streamed? When was the last time I went to the local? When was the last time I had me time? Because you do have to be a little bit responsible for what you've done. You can't be a couch potato all day. Like I need to
No. Yeah.
recharge and
Right.
and rest. Even though I love being a couch potato. I love wasting time. I love doing nothing. I need to make sure that I do something so I keep my sanity. So I think it just kind of depends on the individual. Like I won't get too into it right now, but like me and Red Sloth are kind of working on a side project that involves
Ooh.
Smash. Yeah, really cool. So like I know the community, and he's really good at computer engineering, so we're working on like a little something for fun. But it's just things like that keep you motivated and keep you
Yeah.
positive, that you have to make sure you do. So like if I want to play games, I don't want to be streaming all the time. Like I want to play, maybe uploading a video will make me feel good, or maybe if I
Right.
do want to stream, that makes me feel great too. And maybe I just want to like get into some game stuff and talk to different people at the time. That's fine as well. But it's a hard balancing act, but sometimes I think having that in life can be really hard, because I'm very thankful for what I do enjoy, and not a lot of people have something that they enjoy.
Right.
So I'm at the end of the day, like I'm very thankful that I can like go to something like streaming and Smash where I do enjoy it, whereas like someone else is like, well, do I really like this? Do
Mm.
I really not? I know I love streaming,
Right.
and I'm very thankful for that. So I'm
Right.
lucky I have a couple different options, but
Yeah.
you gotta like,
I think it's
part
like
of me
knowing
feels like
yourself.
life, yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be honest with yourself, and like
Yeah.
sometimes life is doing stuff you just don't want to do.
Mm.
But like, it's like I don't want to get up and go for a walk, but once you do it, you feel great.
Yeah.
So
True.
it kind of depends, but it's great that I have someone like I can really go to and talk to about it. And like Sid's obviously like just my favorite person ever. So
Yeah. She's
there's
also mine.
there's a lot of she's all watch out, I'll fight you. But no, it's good. Like I'm very thankful for what I have. So yeah, you gotta play it by ear, and you gotta see how it goes. But you can't take everything too seriously either, because I think that's where you start to be hard on yourself, and you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah. So, do you feel like structure is something you really like, or are you just like it really
Oh
just
yeah,
okay?
yeah, I'm a big structure guy, and it's like right now I don't have the best job,
Mm-hmm.
but and I complain about it, and but it gets me up, it gets me on a schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when I get home and I'm like, well, I have like 4 or 5 hours. What should I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very thankful I'm in a position of where I can get back home on a regular time and think to myself, I have options, and
Yeah.
not everyone has that.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a little different. I don't know if you just heard my burp. Sorry, but I had a
I
little.
did not. Wow, you
but
outed yourself.
but yeah, no, I love having structure. I'm a
Yeah.
very like
Yeah.
I need a schedule or I will go
Yeah.
crazy.
But that's more
And that's the
like
one thing I like about my job.
right, like you mean it more in the way of like everything. I guess I was asking
Everything.
more like if you were going to have a schedule for like streaming. You're like I'm not
Mhm.
doing that actually. It just depends on the day.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes like I don't know, because also I don't want to make a schedule and not do something fun with Sid.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I want to make sure. I think sometimes having a schedule can be good, but
Mhm.
if you're living your life with someone,
Mhm.
sometimes the schedule isn't the best choice.
Right.
Like when
It
I
just
was
doesn't
like,
always work out that way.
it just doesn't always work out that way exactly.
Mhm.
So like I think, if you have like a family or something and you're doing something like this, it's going to be almost nearly impossible to have a schedule.
Right.
And like I just kind of I did try it when I started this job. I made a schedule,
Mhm.
and then I was like, man, I made too big of a schedule. Maybe like
Yeah.
let me dimmer it
Yeah.
down a little bit. And even then I was like, well, I don't want to like cuz some days are better than others. Like if you have
Mhm.
a hard day at work, you might not want to stream.
Mhm.
But then if you do stream, sometimes you end up feeling better. So
Yeah.
sometimes like you just have to take a risk with something that you don't want to do, and then
Yeah.
sometimes you end up having like the best time with it.
Mhm.
So I tried having a schedule, but I right now I just kind of play it by ear. But I'm
Yeah.
also really open to like if I don't feel like doing it,
Yeah.
maybe I should still do it. It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, if you're comfortable with the pain that you put yourself through, you always end up feeling better. And
Yeah.
that's like a clear example with the gym.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, it's like well people are
you know,
always like people want to be so how do I want to say this? People are uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, even if it's for something positive, like your health
Yeah.
or like eating right or going to the gym or having discipline with
Yeah.
anything that doesn't come naturally to you. Um,
Mhm.
People are very like, I don't want to. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
obviously you don't want to be uncomfortable, but also
Mhm.
having I don't know, self discipline with certain things, depending on what they are,
Yeah.
like can be very helpful. So I
It
don't know.
can. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what we were talking about, like our past being prevalent in our personality or in our life is
Hmm.
like, when I was in music, I was never comfortable
Yeah.
being on stage, playing an instrument in front of a bunch of
Hmm.
people. But somehow when I kept going and practicing and working hard, you get used to it.
Hmm.
And like that's something even with tournaments.
Hmm.
It's like if I go to a tournament, the first time I did it, I was like shaking, I was nervous, I didn't know
Nervous.
what to
Yeah.
do. But once you keep going and you get comfortable with it,
Yeah.
it's just all about experience. And I remember I had a teacher tell me sometimes you have to prep at 120%. So when you perform, you're performing at like 89 or 90,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's so many things where you just have to get a lot of experience. So it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes if I don't feel like streaming or I feel weird about it, it's like, okay, maybe I'll take a break, but it all ends up working out. If you have a bad stream, you kind of learn from it and then you take a
Yeah.
break and that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's just I think everyone in the streaming world has a little bit too much of an expectation of a
That's a
stream.
good
It's like,
point.
okay, after
Yeah.
the stream, I want numbers, I want subs, I
Hmm.
want this. And it's like,
Hmm.
but do you want a good time?
Yeah.
Do you want to have
Let's talk
fun?
about
Do you want
that.
to learn
Right.
something? Yeah,
Let's
right,
go there.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's interesting. Well,
mhm.
to pivot a little bit, do you have any inspirations or creators that you look up to in this space or that inspire you?
Oh my gosh, do I? Yeah, I really do. I really look up to Landy, and I look up to guides, and I look up to just people who are the most happy doing what they're doing. And I look up to lands, and it's just it's funny because I was talking to Sid about this, but it's like the people I really first met when I was started streaming, like them, I was so lucky to meet because they're all obviously like those three people. Like I look up to a lot of people, but those three people in particular, they're all very different,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like Lance does a lot of things that personally challenge yourself that seem impossible, and you overcome them. Landy has a lot of substance and goes into a lot of depth about theories and talks to people and is really engaging in that sense. And Guides is someone who's had so much experience and that does so many things and challenges himself in a different way than a boss. But, with creativity, they all have very unique challenges that they have to put themselves into that, add up to, well, do I really want to do this today? Like, what goal am I going to get out of it? And once they get it, they just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
So, those three in particular, I'm not saying it just because they're my friends, but like I really saw them and what they were doing before I really got to know them. And that's when I was like, wow, first of all, I'm very thankful I first met them. But they've also they were good creators in a sense of where like they really reached out to me too. Like I was just online asking questions or talking to them, and I could tell what they were talking about they really cared for. And that's what I love about a lot of people I've met online, is that they do what they love. And I had a huge inspiration from this content creator named Etika when I was growing up, and he did a lot of Nintendo reactions and streams, and he was just such a funny, vibrant person to watch. And like back then, I mean, that's how I really knew streaming was a thing, because of him.
Right.
So he passed away, but I really keep a lot of parts from him and the people I met with me. So I'm very thankful that I have these people in my life too. So yeah, I do look up to a lot of people, and I'm sure there's someone I could be thinking about right now, and I'm not trying to discredit anyone I don't name and make it personal. I'm really not, but those are just some people that have always kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I saw from like a creative point of view, it's like, wow, they're so good at what they do and they love it. But then they also reached out to me, and it's just, I don't know. I'm very thankful too.
Yeah. Well, we also talked about how you've already met so many people from the online space, obviously. So, what is it like to meet people that you've created a friendship with online and then finally meet them in person?
I always think about when I was growing up, my parents saying like, "Don't talk to strangers on the internet."
Right.
And now it's like,
look at you.
I'm talking to them, and they're my, look at me now, right? And then look at some of my best friends.
Yeah.
So, I think it's really funny to have. That might be one of the largest generational differences between like us.
Yeah.
And just in general, it's like like people have jobs from online, people get married from people they met online, people have best friends they met from online. Like it's a whole different world. But I have a good vibe check in me.
Okay.
Because
Smash?
honestly, smash. Well, it's like life is all about the vibe.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree.
If you want to put it there, that's what it is. And like when I would make friends online, so there were times where my vibe check was all the way off, and I was like, "Whoa, you're a horrible person!
Same.
Oh my god, get away from me! I don't know who you are," and it's like
Right.
that. But and that's okay. That's part of being human. Like that's gonna happen in life too. You think someone's a friend, and they be a shady bitch. Yeah, like it's all good. But it's true. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say there were people I met where I knew I wasn't going to be surprised in a bad way. And I Landy was so awesome meeting, because I don't know if I told you, but we were both in the same state when I first met him. So I drove down a weekend, and this was before they had their dog Kobe. So
Oh.
like I went down there and we had some we had some food and hung out, and I stayed at their place, and they were just literally having a stranger in their
Some
house.
random dude.
Yeah, some random dude, but like I knew the vibes were good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great, and I think there are some people who like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but they'll have different personalities in person, like including
Oh
me.
yeah.
I mean including me.
Yeah.
And I think some people have this persona that comes naturally, and then I think some people have a persona that they try to create, and there's nothing wrong with both. And like, yeah, they're always going to be fake people, but something about like when I play Smash and I go crazy and I talk shit or I have fun or I go nuts, like that's all from me.
Yeah.
Like when I say stuff on there, it's stuff I've always wanted to say, or always
Yeah.
wanted to do, and it
Yeah.
makes me feel so alive.
Yeah.
And it's something about like, you could see just the most normal person on the street, right? But if you give them some paper and a pencil and they create the most disturbing, dark, vile image, that's kind of who they are, or
Right.
they're just an artist like that. So,
Right.
and I think some people get that confused with like being fake or being a weird persona, but sometimes artists come out and just have something that is deep inside them, and they just they let it out on stream or when they're performing for music or when they're drawing. And I think that's such a like a beautiful part about streaming, is that to me it is an art form. It can be like, comedians are the same way too. They have a persona, they don't try to push out, it just kind of naturally develops. So I feel like that's something with me. Like I don't know what it is, because even when I meet people in person, I've always been this way, but I have to give it like a couple months or even a couple years for me to like fully come out and feel comfortable with someone. I don't know what it is, but it's like I have to
Feel the vibes
I have to
out.
get to know them. I have to feel the vibes, but it's like even once I feel the vibes and I know they're good, it just takes time. I'm just like that.
Yeah.
So like I can't fully be myself in an instant. It's like if you're with a best friend and you're acting, the way you are because you're comfortable and having fun. I feel like that kind of happens with streaming, and it does for me. And like, yeah, you have fake people, but then you have others who are just so comfortable and so fun, enjoying what they do. And when you find that on Twitch, that's what makes me stay. That's what makes me keep talking.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah,
damn.
It's a lot. Does that make sense, or is that kind of crazy? Like,
I don't think I've ever had anyone explain it to me that way, but I think I definitely get what you're saying. Like, maybe streaming. This is how I'm interpreting what you're saying, but maybe streaming is like almost like its own little stage to be whoever you can't be IRL or around the people that you're around. And I think everyone has like a part of themselves that maybe they're more shy about, that's probably actually their truer self. And if it comes out on stream, like, great, amazing, at least you have like an outlet for that. And as you're saying all of this about you, I definitely see that. Because I feel like I have come to know Gremlin version of you, where I'm like, you and Sid make sense. And like, on stream it definitely comes out, but I feel like, if you don't really know you very well, like, and you meet you, you're just like, hi, oh my god, and that doesn't mean that that's not you. That's just a different, like, there's layers to it, and
there's layers,
and maybe you gain more access to the chaos after some time.
and it's just, I kind of grew up on like a strict rule set in my home, and I feel like, not to get too personal, and I know it's like I'm not you're not my therapist or anything like that, but I'm just saying that there are a lot of people in the world who feel like they can't be who they are, and I think streaming is a good outlet for people who enjoy someone who feels like they can be themselves, and people kind of gravitate to that. And I think that's good for both people. I think it's great for the viewer, and I think it's great for someone who's streaming to be like, oh my gosh, like I can crack this joke. Where versus like, oh man, I could never do that growing up, or who knows what would happen. So I think with everything, online is a good outlet for people just to be themselves or try different things, and they like it.
Yeah, and there's probably something to you probably gravitate, not you, but anyone gravitates towards somebody that they either can relate to or see themselves in a little bit, or just find them to be chaotically funny, and that's part of their personality too somewhere.
Yeah, and it's like, you can really, it's so funny because like I'll talk about this with my friends, but like I feel like there's some social media sites where you can actually figure out someone for who they actually are.
Oh,
like
okay.
Facebook is like you're being fake. You're talking about how great your life is, and it's not, because you're constantly posting.
Yeah.
Instagram, you're taking pictures also
Highlight
about
reel.
how great your life is. You're saying the same thing but in a different way with just a fucking picture. But then if you go to something like Reddit or Twitter and you're like, wow, this is who this person is. Like, I feel like those websites are kind of where people are actually themselves. And I think Twitch can sometimes also be that website, but you have to look a little harder.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you have to.
You know what I mean?
It takes a little bit more. Yeah.
Takes a little bit more. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, I'm very thankful because, like, I didn't even know what Twitch was, like a year before I started streaming.
Yeah.
Like, I saw things on there, but I didn't know exactly what it was, and that's why I started on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I watched Etika on YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
Damn.
But.
Well, I guess.
I know it's a lot. I'm a lot.
No,
I feel you.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, I like it. I think there's probably a lot of people who probably don't even think that you have this depth to you, which, not to say that, like, whatever you're giving on stream is not deep, but.
Right, but I'm there to play games.
Yeah,
I'm there to have fun. I'm not here to talk about what I think. I mean, sometimes.
Let's talk about music.
But...
I'm just kidding.
If you want to, I'm down to talk about.
No, I'm kidding. So. I'm kidding. Well, so like with your streams, because mostly what you do is just stream, right? Like, I know you'll post shorts and stuff, but it's moments from stream. Which at this point now, I've loved seeing the ones that you have with Sid because they're just hilarious. But with your streams, do you feel like you have a mission statement or a why behind them? And maybe it's just to, like, let her rip.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked in depth about it, but I feel like specifically I should ask the question.
Yeah, I just feel like that's a great question, because I don't even, sometimes I think it can be as simple as just letting it rip, because I know I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
So, because what I used to do when I was like really in content was like, let me make an open arena. I'll play with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, well, I just want to play some games and have fun. And if we get a good clip of it, let me share it with the world.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Sometimes in life and in gaming, I love really funny things. And that's why I really admire comedians, because they're all about funny. They're not really about anything else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of with me. It's like, I just want something. I want a good clip.
Yeah.
I want something to be funny, and that's kind of what it really boils down to.
Yeah.
But it's also like when I'm thinking about that, or I'm just doing it, I'm also learning. Like, I'm getting better at Smash. Like, when I do online tournaments, I don't really stream it. I kind of turn the stream off. I focus. I lock in. I take what I've learned from like playing on stream or playing in person, and I kind of focus it towards a different channel. So. Yeah, that's a great question, because sometimes I think about it and sometimes I don't. Like, sometimes I start streaming and I say, let's get a good YouTube clip today, guys. I haven't posted yet, because once I posted it, I'm like, oh, I did something today. So.
Well, I love that, because sometimes it doesn't even have to be that deep, and really, like, some people have answers for that and some don't, because, like, it just depends on what you're doing it for. And honestly, if you're not like, let me farm this space for something, I don't think that's what you're doing with it. But like, it's probably less stressful if you're like, I have to put my clips out this week, like.
Like what I used to do. Funny story. Has Andy told you about our Smash sessions?
No.
At all?
Were you teaching him or something? You were teaching people for a while, right?
I still, I'll teach some lessons and stuff like that too. Wow. But something I did, like, well, him and I did, was when we first like kind of knew each other, it was just still, like a regular vibe check. Like, we were hanging out. He's really like, I love Andy, and he's one of my best friends. Just amazing human being. And he was up really late, and this was one rare night where I was up too. I just couldn't sleep.
Wow.
So Yeah, I don't remember how it started, but basically what happened is that him and I were playing Smash Bros, and we went on Twitch to see who had an open
Oh my
arena.
god.
And we went to like a couple people who were like really strict and really weird and really
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta win,
Yeah.
type thing. And what happened was we both got into that person's arena, and I would beat the guy, and the guy got really mad and then kicked me out of the arena. So I made a different name, different profile picture, went in, and me and Andy both went into the arena, and there's basically a line
Mhm.
waiting for two people to fight each other on stream.
Yeah.
So me and Andy got to the point where we finally fought each other,
Mhm.
but when the match started, we wouldn't fight. We would just teabag, and we wouldn't do anything, and we would act really dumb. And the streamer was like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Yeah.
I hate it. They like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. And then like, he would kick us out, get mad. We would have a whole hoot about it. I popped back in, and I would say, you suck. And he would be like, really? Like, I would change my profile name to get good, or you suck, or I'm back.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh my God. And one time we did it with a streamer who forgot to turn off his stream. So he was just laying there after his stream,
What?
going to town, picking his nose, and he fell asleep and was going, and we were just dying. It was just the funniest thing ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so those are like great memories. And I was like, dude, this is something you can only really do with Smash. Like, that's
Yeah,
why it's
yeah,
also so
yeah.
special to me, because it's like, whether you play someone who's really good or who's not that experienced, you can have a good time like this, and that's what we did.
So my next question is, what is your biggest self-critique? Whether that's in person, IRL, or online.
Ooh. Oh man, oh that's so hard. There's so many. Oh my gosh, that's gonna take the rest of the podcast.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
God. Man, that's a.
It could be
Which one to
like just
pick?
content creation wise. Like, yeah.
Man, that's good. My biggest self critique. Well, there's like the biggest self critique, and then there's the thing I'm like the worst at.
Whatever.
So
you
I don't
wanna-
know if they are together. I'm so bad at replying to people. I'm like
Okay.
really, really bad. Like
Okay.
it's got to stop. Like, cause I have people message me about stuff, and
Mhm.
like they're really good friends, and I don't mean to be mean when I don't reply,
Mhm.
but if you ask some of our friends, like they probably have to like text me or call
Yeah.
me, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad, or like something like that. Or sometimes I'll look at something and then see it, and then I'm just
Right.
like, oh man. Yeah, I'm super bad at communicating online, and
Mhm.
part of it is because like I don't want to spend 30 minutes replying to like 7 people. I know that sounds
I know
so
what you
bad,
mean. No, I get it.
but I low-key don't want to,
No, I get
So
it.
it's like, but like in person or text or phone, like totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. But yeah, I'm pretty, when it comes to content and people want to do stuff or people hit me up, I'm really bad about replying. So I'm trying to get better, but it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it's getting better, to be honest.
Oh man. And your other thing?
I'd say, oh, so man, yeah. Which one? Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Sheesh. There is a lot, but I think that one is the one I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well,
for sure.
what are you most proud of? That could be in the online space, streaming, IRL stuff, and maybe I know you don't really like put out like content per se, but maybe
Mhm.
it's not the thing where you got the most viewers or the most like whatever people watching or likes or whatever, but the thing that you're most proud of.
Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know, because part of me wants to say like I'm not really proud of a lot, but then I remember when I first started streaming, I would have like killed for what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So like I am very thankful. Like I've met so many people when I do stream. Like I can talk to a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I can be myself. Like I'd say I'm probably the most proud of just how far I've gotten from how I started.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I don't want to be like, don't forget where you came from. Like that sounds a little threatening. Like I don't really like that,
Right.
but it's more so of like, a couple years ago I didn't have any side hobbies. I was miserable. Like I didn't really know what I could do to like spark me some joy, and like I'm doing this, so I'm really proud of it. But like more specifically, I actually did make um a video for Smash about this specific combo you can do with Sora, and I think it's almost got like 50,000 views, which is like really cool
Goodness.
for me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
But like it's not about the views, but like out of that video, there's so many. There's like maybe 400 comments, and I got one last week that was like, "Hey, I know this was uploaded 2 years ago, but I just want to say thank you, and you've really helped me." And my friend sent me a screenshot in my Discord of these guys speaking Spanish, talking good about my video, and
Oh
I was
my
like, "Dude,
gosh.
this is like so cool!"
Yeah.
Like it's something that everyone wants to learn with this character.
Mhm.
And when they look it up, like they just somehow come to my video, and one of my friends like helped me with the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of have to sit down and be like, I don't make a lot of videos, but when
Mhm.
I do, they seem like they're pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give myself credit more often, but like I'm pretty proud of how that video turned out. Like there are a couple things I'm like, ugh, I wish I could go back and
Can't
change.
be perfect.
But yeah, it can't be perfect, but it's solid, and I'm proud of that, because usually like I'm really proud of something or I'm just straight up not.
Right.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm pretty proud of that video.
That's cute. I didn't even know that was there, so I'm gonna have to go look at it.
Yeah, yeah. The shorts. I mean, because what I do is I just I get clips from
Mhm.
stream,
Yeah.
and I just put them on YouTube, and like they're getting good views. Like usually when I
Mhm.
post one out, I get people who are like, "Oh my gosh, there's someone who actually plays Sora. I thought this video game was dead." Like it's
Right.
funny. Like it's cool.
Yeah. You're like, no,
Um,
I'm keeping it alive myself, single-handedly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's actually I made it a couple months ago, but I made a video of it was like 1 year of me posting clips on YouTube, and it's just with some music that I find very funny, and it's showing
Oh,
YouTube comments
yes.
talking
I
about
remember
how
that.
like lame Sora is, how
Yeah.
dumb I am, how like all this shit, and then you get a brief second of like, great job, this is awesome,
Yeah.
this is so cool, and then the next one just goes right back to you're being trash.
Yeah.
And the final comment of the video was, "Oh my gosh, I just watched a video from the guy who beat me at Super Smash Con 2022."
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
what a small world,
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I really embrace like whenever someone like says something bad in the comment section, I always like it, and I always heart it, and I always comment, and I say like, thank you for helping the algorithm.
Oh my god.
And I remember I posted a video of me beating Hungry Box,
Uh-huh.
and someone was like, Hungry Box just doesn't really compete in Ultimate. I feel like it's really shitty for you to make a video, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, thank you so much for the comment section. I don't know, but he used to host the biggest online tournaments every
Right.
time that he would compete in, blah, blah, blah. And that bitch deleted the comment. So I love, I like
You're
doing
such a
shit
troll.
like that. I love being a troll. I've always been a troll, even before I started streaming. I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah.
I used to, all those amiibo back there.
Yeah.
I used to collect them, and I used to wait out in front of Targets for
Oh,
like 12
no.
hours to get them, because sometimes they'd only make one or two.
Yeah.
And I got the rarest amiibo, and people were paying like $1,000 for them because people didn't know that if Nintendo was going to keep making them.
Mhm.
So what I would do when I don't have Facebook anymore, but I got the rarest ones, I would post it online, and I would say, "Hey, I'm selling this," when I really wasn't. And I would have them message me and be like, "I give you $200 for that." And I'm like, "I'm thinking $900." And they're like, "Fuck off. I can't believe you. Like, that's a ridiculous price." But some of them would be like, "I'll do 700. I'll do 800." And then I would just not reply. And then I would be like, I'm thinking $1,000 now,
Oh my
since you were mean
God.
to me. Like,
Wow.
I've low key always been a troll. So,
Even on
I
Facebook
try to do it
Marketplace.
anywhere I can.
God
Yeah.
dang it.
Whew.
The trolling
Well,
knows
I
no
don't think
bounds.
Well, I think back then they didn't even have Marketplace.
Oh,
They had
shit.
they had just like groups or private groups for
Ah,
something.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I would
yeah.
post it there. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
crazy.
God. That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? I love it. I love it.
No one ever got it. That's crazy
No one
because
got it.
I have a Kingdom Hearts DS that I actually got from Treehouse here, which was crazy.
Did you get it fixed?
I turned it on like a few days later and it was fine. So
Oh, it was? Okay, cool.
I don't know
good,
what happened,
good.
but anyway, that's probably the coolest thing I own, and I actually ended up getting it from you, troll.
Yeah, because I thought I bought it brand new,
Mhm.
unopened, and then I was like, something doesn't look right. And I asked my friends, they were like, bro, that's definitely open. Someone ripped you off. And I was
Yeah.
like, God damn it. So I opened it up, and like the game had like a fake seal on it, like it was used. But then I got like a cloth, I cleaned it up, got
Yeah.
some Q-tips, went in there, did my thing.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful. I love. That's probably one of my favorite console editions ever. It's so beautiful.
I know. It is gorgeous.
Did the purple and black and gray,
Yeah.
like the two screens. It's just so cool.
It is it's cute.
It's like Kingdom Hearts is definitely the Louis Vuitton of gaming. We cannot deny that.
Yeah, that's what after you said that, I tell people that now all the time because it does. It looks like like it does look like hella expensive, which I mean.
Well, credit to Mrs. Guides. She was the first one to say it, not me.
Oh.
So.
Well, we
Yeah,
love her.
she said it. Yeah, she's the best. She's the best. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, Treehouse, what's next for you? Is there anything you're excited about in gaming or IRL stuff? What is coming next?
I mean, I hate to be that bitch, but I'm very excited for the future because
Yeah.
like I'm here with Sid. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like too like ooey gooey, but she is the most amazing person ever.
Yeah.
Support her. Like
Yeah.
I love her. She's just
You can tell.
perfect. So it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell. Yeah, but no, but she's literally amazing, and I love knowing Sid and then Cassidy as well. So it's been good. So it's been like awesome. But I think right now I'm actually saving up for a new PC because right now my one it
I
can't
heard
save
about
anything.
that, right.
So yeah. So I have a couple like big videos I really want to work on, but like right now I can't really save a whole lot.
Yeah.
So. But if you want a good PC, you got to save about, $2,000 for one.
I
So I'm just
know.
kind of working towards that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to kind of just like keep going to locals and just, I am trying to, like we were talking about before, like I know life is a balancing act, and the mind replaces problems with another. But there are so many like right now my job isn't great. But then, a couple years ago it was way worse. So I'm like trying to be very thankful too.
Right.
I'm excited to get a new PC so I can like add things back to my streams. And I think that's why it's kind of like, oh, well, do I want to stream because something might break? But
yeah.
I don't know. This is just such a fun time to be alive for gaming.
Yeah.
And I think gaming is getting the recognition it
Finally
has always deserved.
Yeah.
Totally deserves. Yeah, like it's more not profitable, but it's more well known than like the movie industry. And it's like just all these things about gaming are finally like coming to show, and I'm all here for it. So it's like I love gaming because it's like I'm seeing what's happening, but I've been living through it for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited for what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm excited with my future with Sid, the future for gaming. Hopefully I'll get like a new job, a new PC, but I'm doing what I can, and it's great. So
yeah. Well, I can't wait to see more of your streams. I love the ones where Sid comes on, but also the ones with just you are equally as fun. So
well, thanks, homie. I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
Well, whenever you start making the stuff that you're working on, I'll be excited to see that, and then any of your videos whenever they start to come out.
Yo, thanks. Yeah.
Fingers crossed on getting that $2,000 because the PC, man, that shit is expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's so crazy because like during COVID, you couldn't even get a PC. And
No,
now you
I
can
know.
get one, but they're so fucking expensive,
Yeah.
and it's like ah.
Yeah.
But I think once I get one, I'll add my themes back together, add some like voice sounds, different stuff, rewards.
It'll be fun.
But I'm lucky I can hit that go live button and just play a game.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't
I'm
have
happy
to be
about that.
anything crazy. Everybody's there for you anyway.
Exactly. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it should be cool. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also just trying to embrace everything right now, and it's been really
Yeah, I love that. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you for sharing and being on the pod.
Yo, thank you for having me. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. I know it's been, 8 times. It feels like 8 times waiting, but
I know.
this was fantastic, and thanks for letting me yap.
Yeah,
about
anytime,
all
dude.
this stuff.
Well, everyone, this has been Treehouse. Please be sure to check him out over on Twitch and YouTube for chaotic
Oh, wait,
fun.
wait. Sorry, one more thing. One more
Okay.
thing. I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you this was very, very, very important.
Okay.
I didn't tell you. Did I tell you how I got my name?
No.
Okay, sorry. I have to tell you
Okay,
this because
okay.
I've been wanting. I just have to keep it in here. So
Okay.
basically, I was in undergrad and I was a freshman in college.
Mhm.
And what happened is that Smash for Wii U released, which was like such a huge deal.
Uh-huh.
And I got a Wii U just for that game.
Mhm.
And what happened was when I was a freshman, I would keep my dorm room open. So whenever someone would walk by, some guys could just come in and play Smash.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so and that's
Sick.
kind of how I like met some friends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I was like literally the second day of college, like before classes started,
Mhm.
everyone held a Melee tournament. And because like Wii U wasn't out yet,
Yeah.
but basically they held a tournament and I got first place.
Oh.
And I won like $20.
Okay.
And at the time, the person who I was competing for first place was a clarinet player I was going to be with in like the music studio. And
Uh-huh.
you know, I won and I got $20 and I said, "Hey,
Yeah.
you want to go to Chipotle and get a burrito? Like
Yeah.
we can split it with the money we just won." He was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, sure." And then we ended up being like best friends.
Oh
So
my
that
gosh.
was really cool, but I would leave my door open for Smash Wii U. And there's this guy named Ian and he had these like giant framed glasses, like super long hair, always baked out of his mind. The dude was like tripping on acid. The dude was always high. The dude was drunk sometimes, like
Yeah.
always tripping. But he was the one who would always kind of like look through my door and be like, "Are you playing some Smash, bro?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, come on in." So we would always play and talk and stuff like that. And one day he came in like super high, like super baked. And he goes, "Bro, do you have like a gaming name?" And I was like, "A gaming name?" He was like, "Yeah, like for when you go to tournaments or like when you do anything online, like you have to have a gamer name." And I was like, "No, I don't have a gamer name."
Yeah.
So there's a name randomizer in Smash for Wii U.
Mhm.
And so like we clicked it and like Majora came up, Sky came up, and we were just going through the names. And Treehouse came up and he was super high and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Treehouse. That's kind of a sick name."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That is kind of cool." And he was like, wait. Put the letters around and you get Heatrouse. That's kind of cool too." And I was like, "You know, that is really cool, but I kind of like Treehouse." And
Yeah.
he was like, "Treehouse it is." So I went to a local a couple weeks later and they were like, "What's your gamer tag?" And I was like, "I guess it's Treehouse." So I put Treehouse down.
Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
how I got the name Treehouse was from that guy
Wow.
named Ian.
Good old
yeah.
Ian.
So good old Ian. It's like, dude, I wish I could see him. Like I wish
Yeah.
I could find him or something like that. But
Right.
sorry, I wanted to
You're
throw that in
fine.
there
You're
because
fine.
I was like, dude,
I
like when you
actually
said
had no
Treehouse, I was like,
idea.
"Oh my god, I didn't tell her."
You said, wait. I thought you were doing a bit. I was like, what is
No.
happening?
It was just so because like I remember even when I went to the local the other week, they were like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Treehouse," and they were like, "That's kind of a cool name." And
Yeah.
I think about Ian every time,
All
just
the
being
time.
super baked.
Where's
All
Ian
the
now?
time, 10 years. I don't know.
Probably super
I
baked.
hope he's alive.
I know. I fucking hope he's alive.
Yeah, probably super
Oh
baked.
my god.
Oh gosh, that's funny. But yeah, thanks again for having me on, homie. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, I hope Ian is doing well. This is Treehouse, though. We will see you later, or I will. And bye, everyone. See ya.
Amazing.
That's crazy.